This is a reading video for Food Wars Season 1, Episode 5, 6, and 7, a 3-episode reaction. Click in the link in the description below to go watch my reaction, and then come back here to see my full thoughts, and theories about these episodes, and so on and so forth. There's a really cool group of episodes. We actually got to see one of the things I was kind of mentioning in my previous reaction about what I wanted to see from Food Wars, and we got to see that in this set. So that was really cool. So click away now, or be spoiled as to what happened in these episodes. Okay, so joining me is Try. So we were talking before this. we No, I have a thumbnail. I don't there was that. There was so many like fan services, but not with Ishiki, but with the one American girl, Mito. There's a tons of just like underskirt shots and just like just so many. There's so much like fan service in this show, but it's ridiculous. Yeah, that bit too. Or when she woke up, like right, she saw like a way different shot of when she woke up. She like lifted her head, and it was the backside of Ishiki. So yeah, there's a lot of silly and creepy and weird shots in this show, but it's entertaining to see how bizarre this show is, like compared to like other shows. Like look, I keep saying this, but like it's just cooking, but they over animate everything, like anime it basically, which is hilarious, and I just love it. So I wrote down all the names of the kids in the dorm, as well as a couple other kind of side characters that I'm sure we're going to see more of as time goes on, like the announcer girl, the MC that we had, Urara. We'll probably see her again because if she's an announcer this time, she'll probably be an announcer at another like event kind of thing. So I wrote her name down. I have the American girl, Mito, because she looks like she's gonna be sticking around, and she's also in like the main kind of opening thing as well, picture of all the kids and everything. I wrote down just everybody basically who's important. You said we were discussing something before I cut you off with the thumbnails. Yeah, sorry. We were discussing that I didn't get to eat anything before this, and I regretted it. Like right now, I'm starving. But Try was saying that I should make something from the show, and I was telling him that I don't have nearly as many ingredients as like these, like a million different ingredients like in my kitchen to make anything in this show. Basically, I just make basic food that I enjoy. Basically, stuff like the main food thing that I usually cook up at whenever I'm hungry, that is like a big fulfilling meal, is that feels like a whole plate of food. Basically, is I get a plate of tater tots because it's like the cheapest thing. Put in the microwave for like 5 minutes. It tenderizes the tater tots to like maybe a bit squishy. I squish all the tater tots down, mix them up, basically makes hash browns, and then I cook up some eggs. I throw that into the hash browns. I mix it up with like a bit of salsa and a bit of ketchup kind of thing, and that's kind of like my go-to meal because it's like it's really fulfilling. But like it's so bare bones, right? It's just like tater tots, eggs, salsa, ketchup. I do salt and pepper as well, but like that's it. Like, like with like in the show, they have like a red wine, and they're and they're like adding it into like big groups of rice, and like they're the last dish was Soma doing it with some kind of like jelly kind of thing with his thing, and then like whenever he did it with like the onions, he cut up all the onions and then like soaked them in like the grease of like the pan kind of thing. So like all of that, like I don't do any of that. But it's really cool to see. I'm sure, I am 100% sure everything in this show is like genuine, right? Like you can make these dishes. I doubt they would ever like go against that because it's a cooking show, like cooking anime kind of thing. So if they did like make up a meal that didn't like wasn't like one to one in real life kind of thing, they would probably get a lot of fans hating on it kind of thing. So I would probably think every single meal in this show is genuine, that you can make it. Um, because like they had all those kind of like the things at the top of the screen, kind of like telling you little bits and pieces of like the meal, and what what the words mean, and like all the kind of definitions and so on and so forth. So it's kind of like it's an anime, but at the same time it's kind of like a tutorial, or like a guide on certain food, to some degree, but also kind of teaching people some things here and there, if you're interested in that kind of thing. And it's not like in your face, like this is like what this dish is kind of thing. Like I said, a little tagline at the very top, kind of explaining something that might have been said in the episode. But I just kind of I sort of ignored it here and there, because it just seemed more like food definitions, and like how the word is like made up, and so on and so forth, and that kind of stuff. And I'm just kind of like not really needed kind of thing for the anime, but I'm still loving the anime for sure. It's very, very interesting and bizarre, and just like it's so fun just to watch. We had the kids kind of show us around the outside of their dorm, and how everybody has like their own kind of section. We had a chicken coop from Yoshino. We have a chicken coop from Yoshino. Yeah, mid and dude named Kenichi, because he quit martial arts for cooking, for sure. Well, his name was interesting because because it was Kenichi Koichi, Kenichi Koichi, something like that. It was Ka and then Ko for like his final name. Yeah. Okay. So it wasn't when okay. Konishi. Okay. I thought it was a ch as well. In the other name. But yeah, his hair is ridiculous. Like if you had hair like that sticking straight out from you, kind of thing, wouldn't that interfere with your cooking? When your hair just always get into stuff, like when you're like looking down at stuff, or stuff like that. It's very unsanitary. That makes the food better. I mean, effectively, he just taped up the end of his hair, which makes that front part of his hair dead hair. So I mean, Jesus, like that's so gross. Um, but so yeah, so we had the chicken coop from the Anima girl, Yushino. She had the chicken coop, kind of free range chickens kind of thing. Um, who was there was a couple of other the uh Shun, or Ubu Ubusaki, the turtleneck, kind of like he always covers his eyes with his hair, kind of stuff. That kid, he does smoked dishes. Yeah, he does smoked dishes. So he's like cutting up wood and so on and so forth with chainsaw. Um, maybe the sawdust or something like that he also uses. I mean, I don't think they ever like not use a product kind of thing in this show, right? Like if they work towards it, they probably use everything to their advantage. So maybe all the sawdust was also used in the smoking, as well as like the actual wood itself that he's cooking, or cooking with, um, stuff like that. So we had the chainsaw guy. We had the animal coop. Um, what was the couple? I mean, I know the main one, right? It was just the big, Ishki's farm thing that he had. But was there anything else? I can't remember if there was. Chainsaw guy, the the chicken coop, um, fermentation area. Shoot, I don't remember. I don't remember what that is. Anyways, it was cool to see the different areas of the kids kind of like maintain and have their own kind of thing stuff. We had the old lady kind of walking around. She kind of seems like just like the caretaker of the place, with the broom and so on and so forth. I think she cooks dishes as well here and there. We haven't really seen her do it, but she had food last episode in her dorm, or her dorm room. Um, so I'm pretty sure she's a cook, because if she if she has to judge like kids' dishes when they're like put into this dorm kind of thing, you probably be a cook yourself kind of thing. I mean, yeah, I guess you don't have to be a cook to be a judge, because I'm sure like these the people in the food war judges and so on and so forth. Those ones at the who are like judging the food and things. There was a couple of them who were like one's like a producer for a show, for a cooking show, but he's like a producer for it. Another person's like a critic. Um, I forgot what the girl was, but yeah, so like they're all kind of like different walks of life kind of thing. I'm assuming none of them knew either of the contestants to kind of make it like an unbiased opinion, sort of so forth. I am sure that at some point in the future we're probably gonna get a judge who is biased towards one or the other kind of thing, and we'll probably get like like pretty much like facing against the one girl uh Nakiri Irina the god tongue versing against her during like a food war event, some stuff like that. I'm sure the critics, the judges and stuff like that would probably be biased towards her, and just favor her stuff more than the other guy kind of thing. We kind of saw that a little bit at the beginning of this group episodes, but we didn't get to see the whole thing. We saw like the kind of beginning and aftermath of that fight. But I'm sure we're gonna get people who are biased towards one cook than the other, and not just like a clean sweep kind of thing. Because like they have three judges for a reason, just in case it's a tie. One can break the tie, so on and so forth. But so far, we've seen Irina get three votes her way, and we've seen Soma get 3 votes his way, kind of thing. But I'm sure at some point we're gonna see some kind of food war with like a split vote or something like that, and then like the third with the decided vote kind of thing. We'll probably get some. I was wondering this too as well. We had at the beginning, last group episodes, we had a little bit of foul play with a couple of the cooks throwing in a bunch of salt kind of thing to like to ruin the dish. Um, so I'm wondering if that kind of stuff is going to happen during a food war, even though like there's eyes everywhere kind of thing, and like there's cameras and so on and so forth everywhere. There's bound to be ways that people can like mess up the other contender kind of thing. Whether it be before the actual event, where like they're preparing other food and so on and so forth, and then the person just kind of like throws in a little bit of thing to kind of like ruin it immediately before even going out on stage to actually do it. But being on stage, I guess it's pretty hard to like mess up something, or mess up the other contender, and unless you're very sneaky about it, kind of thing. So I'm sure it's gonna happen. I'm sure, and it might come down to the fact too as well that like the audience members might see it happen, but they're just like, yeah, he's gonna lose anyway, so might as well let him do it, or something like that, right? It's like a biased thing. Um, so yeah. Yeah, I already got all the names for all of it. Actually, no, I didn't get the names for the musclehead dudes because their names didn't pop up at all. Daigo Oki, Daigo Oki, um, black hair, dude, bro. um, who is the other one? Soji Sato, yeah, Sato. Blonde, oops, blonde hair, dude, bro. um, I believe that's it. Yes, I have all the rest. Sweet. So, yeah, it was interesting to see the food wars and how it works and so on and so forth. That's what's one thing that I really wanted to see since last episodes, where the kind of like cook off, kind of like chef versus chef, um, sort of events. The Iron Chef, sort of like Gordon Ramsay, like type shows where like cooks are head to head against each other, so on and so forth. I'm wondering about the teams though, like if team battles are a thing, um, where like 5 versus 5, 5 cooks versus five cooks, and whoever's best is kind of thing. That might be like a class though. Whereas food wars, I can definitely see just be one v one kind of thing. But I wonder if there is a case where a food war can happen where multiple contenders can, you know, cook stings, whatever kind of thing, like that. But like whenever I guess the case is if you do have multiple people, it's typically when you're doing like a mass cook kind of thing. If you're cooking to the masses, you get five people to kind of like jaunt around a bunch of different ingredients. So like one person focuses on like something like that, something one ingredient kind of thing, and then pass it along kind of thing. To cook for like a large amount of people instead of just like three judges kind of thing. So I guess in that case, 1v1 is probably the main focus. Um, but in the classroom, for the classes and so on and so forth, I'm wondering if group stuff is going to happen more often in there. We saw that early on with Soma and Megumi. They them grouped up to do the dish there, um, or the specific dish. But I do. I am interested in like a huge group cook kind of thing, to see how that kind of functions and so on and so forth. But a lot of cool stuff. A lot of cool stuff. So let's see what else happened in these episodes. Like we saw a lot of kind of like backroom. Um, uh, I guess I guess I was gonna say diplomacy, but it's just like it's not really diplomacy. um, but like backroom. Uh, Tactics, I guess, for like getting more power in the school. So we had Irina, the God Tongue. We saw her communicate and stuff like that with the food war of the sumo guy who was part of the, I guess it was a stew club or something like that, or something like that. I don't know the exact name; it's like a long name, but um, so they or Irina wanted to tear it down to make what did you say, fifth? I think she said a fifth building. Um, so she's got a lot of buildings under her name. Um, but I always it's always funny to see her eat something that somebody else makes, because it's like whenever she eats something, it's always like kind of pleasant, like when first off kind of thing, and then it just like hard flips, kind of thing, to like something like bad, kind of thing. So like her taking a or the imagination of her taking a bath and then like a gorilla like like in the bath with her. Um, Gotta watch out for the aftertaste, man. Yeah, that's what I said in my reaction too. Is like the aftertaste of like this kind of it's like the hippo kind of just like the rush of hippo taste, and then like the little bit of trinkle of aftertaste. So that's really funny. But it always happens with her, and then the bit with Soma, it was just like the opposite, right? It's just like it's like to her it was like the best dish ever, but then like she just doesn't want him in the school for competition reasons, or just because he's too cocky and whatever kind of thing. She decided to fail him, and then um, her her grandpa went ahead and pushed him through. Was it grandpa or uncle? Crap, I can't remember now. I said grandpa by instinct, but I don't think it is grandpa. I think it is grandpa. Well, I know family, but like, yeah, the director for Irina, grandpa. Okay, yeah, it's a grandpa. All right. Um, I do kind of want to see the relationship between the uh not just the director, like more about him kind of thing, but I want to see the relationship between the top 10 students of the school with the teachers and like all the board of directors and so on and so forth, like because like they were saying how like all of the or so like, it goes the director at the very top, and then like right below the director is like the top 10 students, and then below them is all of the other people of the school, like the directors, and or not the director, but like all the managers and like the teachers and so on and so forth, like is all under the top 10. And I kind of want to see that dynamic to see um how that fares. Like do the teachers enjoy that like that relationship, or do they just kind of just go along with it because the director is the one who put them in charge above them kind of thing. but I'm unsure. I do want to know about all the top 10. We only know about two. We know about Ishiki and then Irina. And I was hardcore thinking that Shun, the turtleneck, kid who like hides his eyes kind of thing. I'm hardcore thinking he's part of the top 10 as well, um, just because Ishiki was very interested to what he thought of the dish. And he didn't say anything during the little taste test session at the beginning of these episodes, when all of them were eating the bowl thing that he made. Um, so I'm hardcore thinking that he's part of top 10, probably above Ishiki, in terms of number and so on and so forth. Like I'm thinking maybe top 5, like kind of thing. So we'll see, I guess, to see if Shun is part of the top 5 in the top 10, top 5, top 10, or just in top 10 in general, I guess. But I'm kind of leaning toward top 5 maybe because Ishiki was like asking him what he thought, and he didn't have like a mind blowing experience, like the other kids did, kind of thing. So maybe he's used to kind of like that level of quality in meals and things. Um, though, like I would think the rest of the kids that were watching the food war, like the animal girl and glasses and all them, when they were at the food war kind of thing, um, they said that when Irina showed up, that was like, there was a shocking that one of the top 10 would be here kind of thing, and having Ishiki not there and then Irina there, it means that everyone thinks that she's the only top 10 in the room kind of thing. So I'm wondering if Shun is like a hidden top 10 kind of thing. Like he's part of top 10, but he's kind of keeps it to himself, or like they don't like nobody like knows exactly who the top 10 are. They're just there kind of thing. It's like a hidden council, kind of like that. Like a couple of the members are very well known and very adamant on boasting that they're part of top 10. But I'm wondering if there's a couple kids in the top 10 who are very quiet and just kind of wants to keep to themselves and like not boast about their power and just kind of like lay low kind of thing. I don't know. It will be interesting to find out for sure. Is there anything else we talk about? Kind of running through all the episodes in my head once more. Um, yeah, I mean, it's pretty cool to see Soma and Megami kind of joining a club, and I guess the clubs in this school are all about like types of food kind of thing. Um, I've heard tater tot egg salsa dish. No, like I said, it's a food that I enjoy, so like I make it all the time. But like I doubt anybody would ever like have a fascination with it like I do. I don't know. I'm not a huge on like palate stuff. Like whenever I go to like Taco Bell, for instance, I usually just get like a bean burrito or like God forbid um what was the shoot? There's another kind of like burrito that I usually get off and on, but like hardly ever get those. But I'm very like to myself, not like a huge you know I don't have a huge palate for things and things, but um I don't know. But I do appreciate the work and effort people do to cook like these incredible dishes and everything like that. I just haven't tried any of them and so on and so forth. But who knows? Um, is there anything else I need to talk about in these episodes? I'm pretty sure I got everything. Pretty sure. Yeah. I think I'm good. I think I covered everything. I guess that we could talk about Ishiki's challenge towards, or Soma's challenge towards Ichiki, I should say, and him denying it, kind of thing. Him saying that he's not worth it, um, to give up his number 7 slot. Even Soma being expelled from the school isn't even can't even compare to his level 7 spot. Um, so like that is pretty interesting. I'm wondering how far he needs to go in terms of rankings and so on and so forth to get to the level where he can challenge people in the top 10 to be equal kind of thing. Um, yeah, the American Girl, Mito. I call her American because she had like American bra. That's literally like all I kind of I don't know. She's probably not American. I don't know. But Mito, she is now part of the Bull Club. So I'm interested to see if she stays. Because that wasn't like I said this in my reaction, but like it wasn't part of the agreement for her to stay, just for her to join. Um, so yeah, probably not American considering her name. Yeah. Um, but yeah. So it wasn't part of the agreement for her to stay, just to join the club. So I'm wondering if she will join the club and then like a day or like right away probably just leave kind of thing. I'm not sure, but Soma did win points with her, so I'm assuming she might stay to see what he's all about kind of thing. It's because he called her well, her nickname is Meat Meat and she hates it. And then he called her Sweet Meat. And then she just like she like blushed like nobody's business, and then just left. Um, so I'm assuming she's gonna stick around because of Soma. I don't know, either to learn from him or get like insider information on Soma, so that she can go talk to Irina about her or about him. Something like that. I don't know. But I'm interested to see more food battles and or food wars, sorry, versing kids and so on and so forth. But also, I want to kind of see like the kind of the the teaching side of things and like how what kind of stuff that Soma creates, kind of thing. Because that was one thing that I mentioned last group episodes of redirect. I mentioned that having a recipe that you have to get like down to like the letter kind of thing and not deter at all would be an interesting kind of challenge for the kids. And knowing Soma, he might like throw something in to make it a little better, and that might get him failed, um, or something like that. Because if you have to go by the book, by the recipe, like this recipe exactly, don't deter from it at all, kind of thing. Like if that was a challenge, kind of thing, I'm wondering if Soma could pull it off, or like is he too full of himself and throws in a little bit of extra thing to the recipe. It might be better, but at the same time you're not following the rules of the competition or the assignment, and you're not following the exact recipe of the thing. So who knows, maybe stuff like that might happen in the future. We have like 4 seasons to get through, so we have a lot of content left for sure. So with that, I shall call it quits here. So thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys back here next week for 5 episodes. We have 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12 to get through next week. So it should be fun and exciting to see what that like batch of videos has to offer for us. This season as a whole has 24 episodes. So we have about 4 weeks left of season 1. After this kind of thing, and then we move on to season 2, which I'm not sure exactly how those are, split up or anything like that. But season 2 through 4 all have 13 episodes. Okay, plus some OVAs. Interesting. Okay, are we gonna save the OVAs for the very last, or are we gonna do it as they pop up at the very end of the seasons, or throughout the seasons? I guess. Don't know yet. All right. There you go. Live in utter mystery. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next week for some more Food Wars. Take care, everybody.